The Zakti is one of those weapons where you can either pay 180 platinum for 190 platinum, sorry, or get the blueprint from within the Tenno lab, but it shoots darts, which puts it in the Tysus area, which does less than half the elemental damage, but has more than twice the status and way better accuracy and magazine size. Same with the Acrid, but the Acrid is Toxin, and its crit's slightly better, but its accuracy is also better. And again, its magazine is much bigger than the Zakti is. So though the Zakti does look promising because it has the elemental side and the physical side as well, coming with 2 dash polarities, this thing has started with such the promise of being a really good weapon for really little work that I'm really hoping that pays off. And to be fair, there was a few times when using this, because it has a 3-round magazine, it's constantly reloading. It also has a really high recoil and a pretty fast fire rate, if I'm being truthful about it. The 8 fire rate may be a bit much, but of course I did throw a lethal torrent on here, which of course increased that. But it's 3-round magazine, and its standard 5 fire rate is pretty quick, so you're constantly reloading. And there was a few times I wasn't sure if I'd actually reloaded or not, because the reload on it is so fast to compensate with the small magazine capacity that the 3-round magazine, what looked like its biggest downside, actually wasn't that bad because it reloads fairly quickly. And if you do put lethal torrent in, then you can get them 3 rounds off pretty quick. So having the quick reload was a really nice addition to this weapon. If it was a longer reload, it would have just killed the weapon. Having a 2% crit chance can kind of kill the weapon off, but its high status chance is where it comes into play with things like condition overload on the dual wielding side of this, coming in fairly useful, because obviously you can affect them with status and then dual wield and have lots of fun. But build wise, I ended up 3 Forma deep in this, and I put 3 Vs on for Barrel Diffusion, Lethal Torrent and Hornet Strike. I'm also running Magnum Force, which to be fair should have been in one of the Format V polarities, considering Barrel Diffusion and Lethal Torrent are both 11s. And then I put Jolt and Pistol Pestilence in this for corrosive, and then threw Convulsion and Pathogen rounds to increase the corrosion. So it has gas and corrosion on this, but the corrosion turned out to be 3,561 corrosive damage with throwing that Magnum Force in there, which it does affect its accuracy, and considering the way that the weapon works with it shooting darts was noticeable. It was justified simply because it was doing enough extra damage that this thing isn't meant for higher range enemies. It's not meant really for long range either, because it has travel time on the rounds. But it's throwing that on there just made it way more fun to use. And okay, it's not really that usable for the really high end stuff. It's pretty much useless for the high end stuff. Everything up until then, it's both fun and just kind of weird having a weapon that reloads every time you shoot 3 rounds off because it's got a small magazine. It's weird and fun. To be fair, the blast radius of this is actually fairly wide when the gas cloud goes off, and it affects people a fair distance away, which is another saving point of this. That gap from it landing to actually exploding is because it opens them up to finishers if you landed on them and you can get close enough and they don't fall over. That just makes things kind of painful. Oh, did I perform a finisher? I don't think I did. I have no idea. There it is. Finisher. So if you have a dagger with covert lethality, you can deal an insane amount of damage with this thing. I mean, level 150s, and I'm chasing him down. And I think he died down there. So I did enjoy this weapon quite a bit. It was kind of weird to use, and managing to get in there and land that finisher, if you can do it, it will do so much more damage, especially if you go condition overload and lethal covert lethality even, and can actually manage to land that finisher in there. And that is probably the saving point of the weapon, the fact that it performs that weird knockback that opens them up to finishers. If that wasn't there, it would be a fun weapon to use for a short period of time, and then you would just jump back to your normal secondary and continue using that. This was a nice change from some of the other stuff that have been released recently. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.